Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone today? Comment live if you are watching live. If you're watching the replay, definitely comment replay. All right. How we doing today? All right. Brandy is here. All right. All right. We are live. We are live. Okay. So today we are going to be really focusing on productivity and effectiveness as women. Okay. If you're a woman and you are really focused on ultimate productivity, getting things done with time by your side, so that you can manifest that which you desire, this is a great live for you. Okay. Um, if this is your first time joining me, I am Coach Jay. I am a business and mindset coach. There are three major pillars that I work with women on, especially in the realm of business, and that includes obviously business in the focus of sales, organic marketing, and leadership embodiment, messaging, and content marketing. So my whole point is to help women with thought leadership and being able to lead online as leaders in their respective industries. Let me clear that up. I don't know if you guys see me better or not. Um, Maybe a little bit better. But so I work with women in that. I've been doing this full time for 4.5 years. And this is many of the questions that I get, especially as a mom that is a mom of a girly girl, 16-year-old, now 16-year-old, but she was definitely younger when I started. And, how did I get things done? How was I able to be effective as a mom, as a woman first? Because I always believe that when women sit down and think about it, they always talk about what they do. They don't talk about who they are. So you're a woman first, and you can't be effective and you can't be the best version of yourself until you learn how to be the best version to yourself, right? So that bleeds into how you price, how you show up in the world, how you govern your business, how you manage your boundaries. Like all these things have a lot to do with the woman. And when you put so much emphasis in doing, which is really important, however, women have a different way that they can build a business without feeling like a man. Okay. They don't have to feel like men doing this. Okay. In fact, you know your body better than anybody else, but you also know when your body is giving you, um, when your body is giving you excuses, instead of pushing you towards the upper limit so you can break through those upper limits and then you manage accordingly. Okay. So most of my clients are solopreneurs. Most of them are running businesses by themselves. And in that regard, there are times where you're going to be outsourcing, you're going to be reaching out for different help, different pieces of help, like, maybe a housekeeper or someone to do some automations for you. Every now and then you may outsource help as cash flow becomes available. So for women, when we think about structuring your day and structuring your week, structuring your schedule so that you can see the maximum output. And this is going to first, I'm going to really address like those who are full time in their business. And to be honest, I'm going to say some things that may trigger you, but at the end of the day, even with the triggers, you're going to have to manage your way out of it. okay? Because the triggers are for you to just check yourself on these things, make sure that does this apply to me, and what can I do to change that? What can I do to change that? So the biggest thing for me is for women. Let's go here. Let's just be real. Let's start at the basics. Women, you are in a patriarchal society. Okay, let's start there. Let's start right there. Okay, I had to plug in my laptop, y'all, because I forgot to plug it up before I started. You're in a patriarchal society, unfortunately. This society is not nice to free women. When I say free women, I'm talking about women who are unmarried or considered single in society. If you are married or you are, with someone and you have a partner in the home, depending on that partner, you may still feel like a single woman sometimes. Okay. But if you are, maybe living with your parents or living with family or you have a roommate, you're still expected to perform. Okay. You're still expected to perform. So when you are in, y'all got this filter on this thing, and it's so funny because all these little emojis pop up, but I like the filter though. Anyway, let me keep going. So when we think about how we are doing the input and the output piece, we think about how do we fit in a society that pushes women to be productive all the time, especially women who did not come from money, right? You didn't come from a wealthy household. You didn't come from people that you can call up and say, hey, do you have $15,000, $20,000? I can start up real quick. Most of us didn't come from that level, okay, from that type of environment. You literally had to learn fight or flight. And most women, unfortunately, still operate in that fashion, which is also why it is so, we've got to understand this, that as you get into business, you've got to get past rent. Okay. You got to get past mortgage. You've got to get past car payment. You got to get past getting my nails done. Okay. Jay, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the fight or flight and the little pleasures of life that we add to our experience to make us feel as if we're living a little, that we're doing a little self-care here and there. The first thing you need to do is that you need to figure out, what type of life do you want? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. What type of life do you actually want? And when I say that, I really want you to just don't blurt out, oh, I want a life of ease. I want a life of flow. I want to be able to travel. I want women say that all the time. I want to live a life that's, I can just travel and I can, do this and do that. Okay, that's fine. But when you look at how you are running your life, look at the current situation that you're in, look at where you're at. Are you moving the needle in that way? Because society is going to tell you no. So society's going to tell you, no, you can't travel all the time. You get 2 weeks to travel. Society is going to tell you, oh, you can't do that because you can only travel this many times. You can only, you have to wait 6 months to a year to book a trip. You can't just on a whim, off the cuff, go. You can't do that. Okay, so if we're doing the antithesis of what society is telling us, then that's going to mean what? That's going to mean that we're creating a life that is outside the norm. And what are we doing to resist that? We're focusing on basics. So we have to start looking at some things differently as CEOs than we would do if we were working a 9 to 5. If we were working alongside people that gave us this false soft life. So you need to decide, okay, first of all, I need a vision for my life. I need to know what I want to do so that I can start creating a life around that. When you look at productivity, okay, when we look at productivity, the societal term for productivity looks like this. It's the measure of the efficiency of a person, machine, or system. For the simple fact that in this definition that a person is in the same playground as a machine and a system, that tells you everything you need to know right then and there. Because you're a person, which is your human, right? You're a soul coming here to live an experience. You have a spirit and a soul. Your spirit is what keeps you alive. It's very it comes with all your DNA in so many ways, that unseen DNA, that unseen shift, that divine DNA. Okay, that's that divine DNA. That's the spirit nature of who you are. That's the one that can do all things. Do you see how I put that? Let me prove it to you. I wrote a post a couple of days ago where I talked about how women, we are obsessed with the how. Okay. I hope y'all woke. That we have a tendency to quit when we don't see something working in the time that we think that it's supposed to come to pass. Okay. And this is all tying into the spiritual nature of the woman, the spiritual, divine feminine of the woman, right? So we tend to quit when the how is not coming together in the way that we want it to come together. If it ain't happening by the time a certain bill is due, the first thing we do is panic. We got to panic. What is the panic? Let me break that thing down for you. The panic is your body. It's your emotion. It's the soul reacting. Your soul is the unseen part of the mind. I'm sorry, unseen part of the brain, which is the mind. Your mind is the soul. Okay. So your soul, which is why there's so much heavy conversion around the mind. You can't convert anybody until you allow that mind to change. That mind has to be so tired of that situation that they decide to change into something else. That's why you got a lot of people talking about, I'm trying to convert souls. I'm trying to convert souls. That's your mind. I got to win souls. That means they're trying to convert you into a different person. That's the same mind. I'm finna help you. That's the same mind that goes from unproductive, lazy, trauma, scared, fear, sick, thinking that this person loves them, even though that they're emotionally and verbally abusing them and physically abusing. Somebody is jacking up their credit, to somebody who's waking up and say, no, I deserve better credit. I deserve somebody who cares about my credit. I deserve somebody who cares about my livelihood. I need somebody, or I need to be able to govern my own choices and my decisions. I know I'm healed. I know that I am free. Right? That's a person who kind of has an aha moment, which is what we call a paradigm shift. There's an aha moment that shifts this person from not knowing to knowing. That's that know better than that I do better. You see how I'm breaking it down? Okay. Jay, what does it have to do with productivity? It has a lot to do with it, because the way that you were doing it in that system, which is the worldly patriarchal system, is not going to be the way that you got to do it out here. And that's probably where the disconnect is, because everything over here on the patriarchal side, the systematic machine side, wants you to be perfect. They want everything right. They want you to overthink everything because you're competing for survival. Let me calm myself down. Because like I said, this is going to be a quiet live. I don't think we're going to shout on this one. We're going to shout on this one. I want everything perfect. I want everything right. So how I govern myself over here in this W-2 life is going to be way different than I did over here. So which means that I got to pay more attention to how I spend my time, because time is a part of the currency. Time is a part of currency. So the first thing is this: I got to learn how to get my time back. You cannot build a business in 2024 and build a company, a longevity business, because you got to decide if you want to do a side hustle or a business. I'm not talking about side hustles right now. I'm just not. I want to do a side hustle. I don't do those. You got to find a side hustle coach. I don't do those. I'm sorry. And I ain't got nothing against side hustles. I just don't do that. I just don't do that. Okay. I don't do them. So with that being said, I'm talking about business. You've got to first start at, like I said, you look at the vision for your life, and then you got to decide, okay, first, in order for me to live that life, then I got to change the way I see time. Because over there, I got more time. Over there, I got time to travel. See, you're at point A, and over there is point B. And then there's a process in between there that we fail to realize, and everybody ain't ready for that level. The process is in the middle. The how is in the middle. The process in the middle is where you're going to be tried at. You're going to lose people in that between. Are y'all asleep? So when y'all get low on energy, I got to go ahead and get to the point, because I could tell see, I don't want to keep hollering every live, because I know y'all come here, y'all want to be hyped. But y'all are going to have to realize that the process in between is going to take you looking at time very differently. So the way that you were looking at time beforehand, when you were giving your time away to survive, you got to now create time to thrive. So which means that I'm looking at myself over there, all the way down there. How I get there, what I do to get there, what is it going to take to get there, and who I become over there has to drastically change, because this is who I am today, but this is a byproduct of all the stuff that I did for the last 35, 40, 45, 50 years. And I'm unhappy in this place. So I have probably done everything from birth to today by way of what I thought productivity was, what I thought structure was, what I was told to do the right thing, but I'm here and I'm not happy. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like this house. I don't like this car, who I married, yeah, he do what he's, yeah, but I'm not rooted in the peace and the joy that I thought I was going to have sitting here, which means that over there it's going to be different. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of y'all going to change husbands. Don't say nothing. Don't say a word. Don't even DM me and say, Coach, you was talking to me. You just hold it in your spirit, because over there, you're going to look different. You got to decide if over there is worth it than sitting right here. And I'm not saying you intentionally changing husbands. I'm telling you what I know. Some people that I know that had husbands back here and they're in their destined spot, they're in destiny and they ain't got no husband no more. Or they didn't got married to somebody else. Because the new husband is aligned with the woman over there. Don't say nothing. You just hold it. You just hold it in your bed. Don't even, she talking to me. Now, your husband may change and become a different person because what's required over there. See, your husband, your mate and your partner didn't get with you when you was over there. They didn't see you over there. You do you know what I mean by over there? I want to make sure I'm because in my mind, I know what over there means. That means the self-actualized woman. The woman who was fulfilled in every area of her life: health, wealth, relationships, community, friendships, freedom, ownership, empire, wealth, before she leaves this realm. You got to be careful. You got to be ready for that. Don't you know some women stop themselves from going over there? Every time I say over there, that's fulfillment. Okay. The fulfilled woman over there. Keep that in your spirit. Feel free to share this broadcast too. The over there is the transformation. It's the transfiguration. Transfiguration is when, baby, you self-transcended. And that's what everybody is. I really want you to get to a self-transcended state. Where you are literally, you're able to pick somebody up and take them along with you. You didn't transfer that power and keeping your own power, but you're able to inspire someone so much so that you are mentoring them for that same power. It's almost like, let me go back to the what is it called? Come on, Jay. First Kings, where Elijah and Elisha, you have a mentee. You have a Mary the mother and Mary Magdalene. You know, some of y'all need scripture references, so I'm giving it to you. You are a mentor and you're a mentee. That's when you transcend and you're able to bring somebody along the ride. So with that being said, so how can I just, because Coach, I'm so overwhelmed. So if I am overwhelmed right now, I got too much going on. And the only way that I'm going to get to a place where I can free up my time, the first thing to do, if I got a job, I need to find a way to get free from it. And without having this nervous system breakdown where I'm so scared that I'm not going to be able to meet a need, how do I do that? How do I do that? How do I get to a place where I can step out in faith, by faith, with faith, and do things in faith? How do I get to that place? The first thing I got to do is I got to figure out, who am I outside of this job? And to know that I can't live by way of what they said. Because I'm gonna really hit y'all in the gut with this one. If you're working a 9 to 5, it's really not by the spirit and by faith that you're walking in, because you already know what's coming. You already know your paycheck is coming on Friday or every other Friday or the 1st of the 15th. You already know the pay cycle. You already have an idea because your father is not the father. The father is in the corporation. So you're not walking by faith totally. You're walking by faith just to get to the office and get to the house. And praying on by to shoot up the place. But that ain't even where your mind goes, because you just sit in the cubicle and you doing whatever you got to do. But if you are an entrepreneur, when you are out here and you are doing the work, and every day you got to focus and you got to figure it out. Like, how can I get my time back? That person, the 9 to 5 person, will be a completely different person on this side. I can't be who I am right now for somebody's company. They'll fire me day one. I would have to literally dumb and strip myself back down to what they want me to be in order to go back in their corporation and do things by their way. I would have to be able to take orders from them. So productivity is going to look different. It's how can I measure that? Look at how you're the manifestation of effectiveness. Write this down. The manifestation of your effectiveness is how you feel and how much money you've generated. I don't see nobody. Maybe there's a lag. How you feel and how much you generated. Why do I say that? I don't know. For men, it's completely different. I ain't even talking to men right now. I'm talking to women. Because the way you feel matters. Because you can have a lot of money and be overwhelmed. I've been there. I've had a lot of money and burnt out. But I also know what it feels like to have a lot of money and feel in flow and feel good. And I know when I get too far down or too far in going into the direction of burnout, I know how to pull myself back and say, nope, we ain't gonna do it like this. Because what we're doing now, we're going back into all this time. I don't have a lot of time. And when my time gets taken away from me, that's not the self-actualized person. So I got to go back and get my time back. Ain't that good? How you feel and how much money you generated, how many sales you generated, how many people that you have enrolled, or how many sales you've made. That is the measure for women. Because women, and I told this to my matriarchs last night and to the women in daily payday intensive, that you're going to have to understand that your time is everything. Your time is everything. I got to make sure that I feel safe and secure. Women have to be safe and secure in order to create. Do y'all understand that? And the first way that you have to do that is by feeling it within. If you don't have any money, if you don't have, if you don't feel like you're safe and secure, because our abode, our homes, wherever we are, we have to feel that way before we have what we desire. And that's the part where it's a lot of women that you have to literally say, I cannot take it anymore. I have to be able to just understand that it can't get no worse than this. This is why you got women who, and I remember if you follow the Hood Healer, if you know her story, she's on Instagram. She's always on Instagram, and she's on OnlyFans too. I'm in her community. And one of the things that I remember her story, that she used to be in a women's shelter. She was in a homeless shelter doing readings for people. But she was in fight or flight all the time, which meant that it spiraled into homelessness. So this is what I was trying to tell y'all a long time ago, is that women are so emotional. And when we don't know how to tap in to our inner woman and inner man, that inner husband and inner wife, what happens is that we stay in an inner child place. We stay in a child's place. We don't ever see fulfillment because we are stuck. We're 40 years old, stuck in a 10-year-old child's body. I mean, in a 10-year-old mind. We're stuck in it. And the whole thing is you're looking outside of yourself for somebody to come get you. And because I don't want to think, because a lot of us are not told and empowered to think for ourselves. So we rely on people to think for us. How am I going to come out of this? Can somebody tell me? So instead of you tapping into the spiritual nature, of who you are, you're not taught how to do that. You're taught to go and seek forgiveness. You are taught to go repent, to go back to when you were doing wrong. When you weren't doing wrong, you just didn't know how to think. You didn't know how to solve problems. You didn't know how to fend for yourself. You didn't know how to take care of yourself. You didn't know how conflict resolution worked. You didn't know how to tap into what so you can get it from your intuition. You weren't all that. You need days. You need a CEO day. You need CEO time. Okay. You need times where you can learn and develop yourself. You need a content day. You need a day where you're doing client work. You need a day when you're training. You need a day when you're batching content. You need to be able to split your days up. But you can't do that if you don't know what you want. But you've never been taught to think about what you want, because everything that you thought you wanted was locked up into somebody else's view of you. This is why I'm so adamant about women growing up and women becoming and stepping into their own leadership. You don't need anybody to take care of you in that regard. If somebody steps in and wants to bring you relief and peace, that should be the intent. That should be communicated right off bat. But if somebody is coming to add stress and strife and turmoil and conflict, and to take up your time instead of giving back your time and bringing you relief, that person is not a fit for over there. I got something right here. What's in my glasses? Oh, that's my glasses. So it's imperative that your time is the beginning of the currency. So when I put structure to my day, when I put structure to my life, the structure is fitting what I have to do in order to get over there. So if I know that the biggest thing for me is to get over there, is that I have to have sales. I have to develop a knack for sales, not just posting, not just doing, I have to literally become good at sales, which means that I have to be okay with reaching out to people that I don't know. Because the wealth is not only in the time, it's in the people. Because I have to be able to measure how effective I am. And effectiveness is what? What are the two things, women? Put it in the comment section. I mean, in the chat section. Tell me, what is it? Come on, because, that's what it is. What the two things? Because that's we got to retain some of this information. Because some of y'all, I forgot. That's another part of the problem. Y'all forget too much. Y'all, what she say? Because are we hearing to be encouraged, or are we hearing to learn and retain? Or y'all just ain't fast typers? Because I don't see nobody popping up with the answer. I forgot. The two things, how you feel and how much money you generated. Write that down. And then I told y'all to write it down. I'm fussing. Because we got to do better in those areas. I was just telling my daughter that yesterday. I said, baby, you've got to start remembering. Because I said, you're going to be leaving me soon. You're going to be going to college. And you can't call me mommy. Mommy, what do I do? Mommy, what do I say? I said, I'm going to be somewhere relaxing on somebody's beach. And you're going to have to fend for yourself. I said, mommy going to always be there, but you are going to have to learn how to think. To how you feel and how much money you generated. That's how you measure the effectiveness of your day, of your week, of your month. And that way you can, your calendar, y'all remember, some of y'all that's been with me and y'all know, I've been saying this since I don't know how long, but your calendar tells a story. Your calendar tells a story. Your calendar will tell you how effective you are. Because if you're looking at your money, look at how much money you made last month. Now look at your time. If you didn't put anything down, if you didn't write anything down as far as like how, you know, this is what I'm going to do. This is masterclass I'm going to teach. This is how I'm going to do it. If you didn't write or document what happened, you don't have any data. And you're going to be forever thinking like, what did I do when I made all that money? I don't even remember. Now you got to guess so that you can create a new story around the numbers. Thank you, Savon. Let me pin that. Thank you. Gold star for Savon. Because that's really what it is, y'all. It really is. That's women have a different way of moving the needle in their own life. You cannot do what you were doing at first. And it's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to pull out the lioness and go all in. There are times where you're gonna have to pull out the inner go in you, and you're gonna have to push the pedal to the metal for a little bit. But it's because why am I pushing the pedal to the metal? Why am I pushing the gas pedal through the floor at points in my business where I need the hyper growth? Because when you hyper growth, when you decide to hyper growth, you are going towards another level of income. You are making a decision that this upper limit, I got to overcome this. And it's going to be tiring because from 0 to 100, that is going to take you getting crazy a little bit. And it's going to feel off. Because everybody going to tell you, you okay? That's when all of the people going to come to you and ask you, are you all right? Are you taking care of yourself? Because you're doing something outside of the patriarchal system. The patriarchal system tells women to sit at home and bake cookies all day. And if you go to work, you know, but when you're going full throttle, that woman on the other side, I want y'all to hear me what I'm saying to you. That's why a lot of y'all need to look at y'all's prices. If your prices are trash, pull them up. But you also got to understand that if you pull up your prices, there's got to be another level of how you deliver and how you articulate your offer. Do you understand it? Okay. So with that being said, the way that you show up has to look like where you're going. So if I say that I'm going over here to $100,000 a month, the way I behave at 0 to 5K per month has to drastically change. And I have to get a little psychotic. I got to look crazy for a season. You got to allow people to question you and say, girl, what are you doing? Are you okay? I see you cutting up all people in your DMs. Girl, you all right? You resting yourself? You getting enough sleep? Leave me alone. Because over there, I'm traveling at whim. I said, that's what I told y'all. Y'all want the soft life too early. And some of y'all ain't even qualified to live the soft life because you still living by fight or flight. Stop saying I'm living a soft life and you barely paid your light bill this month. Or you made payment arrangements. That's not the soft life. That's making payment arrangements. If you had to borrow money to pay rent this month, that's not the soft life. You had to borrow rent. You had to pay that back to somebody, either by body or the money, which means you still got to produce. If I'm going to be on here, I'm going to be myself. So you're going to have to decide, what does that look like for me? You got that? You got to qualify, which means that your life has to be different. So you're going to have to start telling more people, no, I cannot come. No, I'm not going to be there. If you're dating, who are you dating and what are you dating for? If that man is not talking about what he has going on and the connections that he has, what are you going on a date? Why are you going on a date? Why? Don't get me started on that part. That's time. And you get there and say, girl, he wasn't nothing. Like I said, no, you knew that. You were hoping for something different. He wasn't talking about that the whole time. You just had this in your mind that maybe it's going to be different. It's not going to be different. It's not going to be different. You're at the wrong level. You're not over there. So everything that I'm doing has to look different. The way I spend my time and my days, even how you govern your clients, everything has to shift and change. You're going to have to make some changes in your business model. Like I'm going to have to shift the way I'm doing this, because if I'm going over there, I got to have more time to do what I need to do. And that includes think, that includes learn, that includes reading. That's including being mentored. That's including going on retreats and conferences and doing things that bring me joy and brings up the next level of my mindset. Living an actualized experience, not under an experience of condemnation and judgment, but under the experience of transformation, transfiguration, and transference, and being able to walk in joy and happiness and peace and good health, perfect health. And building relationships and a tribe and a community that actually supports who I am, and having very good, productive, and effective relationships that make me smile, and enjoying clients that bring me joy to the work that I do. I don't have that kind of bandwidth. So down here, when you're getting over the bridge is the how. You're going to have to start tapping into spirit. You're going to have to learn how to when your soul, the emotional part of you, begins to act up. If my soul starts acting up, that's my emotions. So which means that I'm going to have to calm the body down so I can go to the spirit realm. That's the place where y'all don't go. And I don't understand that. You got to tap into your divine DNA to get information from there. This is how I'm able to stay in business so long, because everything ain't emotional. The only times I get emotional in business is, first of all, when a client tells me of a win. That's when I get excited. That's when I light up. That's when oh my God, sometimes I cry. It depends on the story of that person. But if there is something I don't know, if there is something I need to get from the spirit realm because I don't know, I have actually had clients that tell me things and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't tell them that, but I'd be like, okay. And I'll let them know, I'll be right back. Let me think about this. And immediately, listen to me, immediately, I'd say, I don't know the answer to this. I need help. When I say that, spirit knows to pick it up. Sometimes it's an immediate answer that comes after that. And sometimes I may have to wait a couple of hours, or I have to go and do something and it comes up. Because you're not going to know everything. My client has an issue with a strategy. I can't. That's why I don't play with nobody's time. I don't play with nobody's money. This is for real for me. I don't play with people's destiny. You got some coaches that I don't even care. You don't even see them. And I'm not here to talk about coaches that do that, but I'm here to tell you that much of your work is going to be rooted in the spirit. I don't have any clients. Tap. Do you know how to tap? Don't you know I've gotten clients from spirit to down to the name? Do you know how powerful that is? I ain't got no clients, God. I need some. I just who do I need to talk to? I will go to bed and wake up in, like, you know, that in between. I told y'all that's that realm of you still in the spirit realm when you wake up. See, when you go to sleep, your spirit picks up to keep your body running. This is how you go into dreams and all this other stuff that's in your the subconscious mind. And it forms images and you go into another realm. And then you got to come back in your body. But when you come back into your body, your soul is getting back settled because now it's time to wake up in the morning. So in between that sleep and waking up, there is a part there that sometimes you hear your name and you don't even know where it came from, or you'll get an idea and you don't know where it came from. The answer is in that. But see, some of y'all go to bed, your TV's on, you're playing trap music when you get up, you got stuff in your ears and Beyonce and R&B playing all that. You need peace right there. I'm going to bed and worship. See, even some of y'all worship music, if everything is going up yonder and up the rough side of the mountain, and God, I'm weary and heavy laden. That's your right there is where you're gonna sit at in the struggle, up the rough side. Struggling. And I'm closing. Right there in that realm, right there, you can get a lot of answers to a lot of life's problems, even down to when to invest and how to invest and who to invest in, and a strategy. Don't you know that my first $18,000 in my business was right there? That's where I got where spirit dropped right there, told me one sentence, and I didn't even question it. I got up and I got to work. It's 2020. But you know, some people, they don't know how to tap in. Girl, I hope this prophetess tell me exactly what I need to do, because I love when she preach. When are you gonna learn how to do it yourself? When are you gonna learn how spirit can prophetically drop the message in specificity? That's why I tell people sometimes your the prophetic ain't always come in generalizations. Prophetic comes in specifics. That's how you know it can be prophetic, and you know that it's for you. Because she told me we were gonna be through struggling. How? Girl, that woman told me in my face that this is the year to start my business. In what? She didn't go into all that. So it was just a good time. You just went to get encouraged. Because now you still don't know. Don't get me started. Structure your day. Tell people no, I can't. Get up in the morning. What time are you getting up in the morning? What time are you going to bed at night? How are you going to bed at night? Are you going to bed mad? Are you going to bed arguing with somebody that you know you should have cut off 6 months ago, but you still holding on to them because you're trying to figure out like what y'all gonna do about y'all future? Nothing, because they're messing up your night. and messing up in the morning because you got a long text message from them talking about how, every time I try. No, you don't need to get up in the morning like that. You need to get up in the morning with insight. And another thing, no block. Because I'm getting up, I got a destiny to run after. I don't have that kind of time to be fussing and fighting with people. I don't have that kind of time. It's too much at stake. And the older that you get, some of y'all got to go back and look at your age. Take your time, honey. Take your time. You 45. No, you don't take your time. You need to run as fast as you possibly can because you got more days behind you than you do in front of you that you know of. You don't know when you're going to check out of here. Everybody got an appointment to run up out of here. And you send them every time, like, I got it. I'm going to take my time. No, you don't take your time. You hurry up and get there because what you want, and I'm closing, what you want is to live an actualized experience. You don't want to have to wait a year to tap into Bali. You want to be able to say, I feel like going to Bali. Don't you know that's the kind of life that everybody wants to live? I want to take me and my kids, if you have kids, or I just feel like going to Bali. I just feel like going to the Cayman Islands. I just feel like right now, I just feel like, let me just get up and book this trip to go to Turks and Caicos next week. Girl, you see them tickets. I got the money for that. We good. I'm good. Mm-mm. Girl, I'm going to save. I'm going to go and get a part-time job. No, you need to grow the business so that you can need to sell, create content, batch your content, go get some pictures. You ain't got to go get a photo shoot and all this stuff. Some of y'all doing too much. I'm gonna hire me a photographer. Just take your tripod to the park and I tell you, but I know how we are. And I know everybody has a different way of thinking about things. And I'm just not that extra. I don't have to do all that. I like a lean operations. I am not like the way Jay run her business is so, it just seems so casual. It is because that's the kind of business I want. I don't want no extra. And you don't have to run your business like me. I tell people, if you want to go and spend $1,000 every month on a photo shoot, you go right down ahead. But I'm gonna ask you where your numbers at, and if you say anything less than $10,000 a month, I'm gonna be mad at you because you didn't spend more on a photo shoot that didn't produce not one penny added to your revenue bottom line. You in the negative every month of a photo shoot because you want to be perfect, and ain't nobody coming. Because nobody care about all that. What comes out of your mouth and what's in the content is what matters. That's what people worried about. I don't care how pretty you are. I have overstepped people with Gucci belts and all that kind of stuff. And I went to people that had on baseball caps and sweatshirts. It coached me into the next round. I don't care about all that. What comes out of your mouth and what you post and your results. That's all I care about. I tell people if you want a perfect coach that wears Gucci all day and I'm not it, go to somebody else. Go to somebody else. I ain't changing. I've had people tell me, girl, I can see you at the next level. What if I'm already there? What is the next level according to you? Because the next level according to me is me in Bali. Steve Jobs wore a black turtleneck and jeans every single day and was worth billions and billions of dollars. There are women right now that I know are millionaires. I'm talking about I know them and they don't look anything like you see online. I gotta do all that. I just don't. Okay. So As an entrepreneur, your job is to tap into the spirit realm to be effective. And when you tap into the spirit realm on a daily basis, and you govern yourself accordingly, which means that every facet of your business, it has to be aligned with where you're trying to go. It's about where you're trying to go. It's about where you're trying to become, or who you're trying to become. And at that particular point, you're going to have to shift. Who you are over there starts with how you go through the process. I feel like I need the brand. I feel like I need a new brand. Go. Sometimes your brand is who you are today, but with authority. So get coached. If you're not where you need to be, get coached. I love y'all, but get coached. If you're interested in the matriarch, have the link to submit your inquiry. We just enrolled 2 matriarchs in 2 days. I'm so proud of both of these ladies. And we're growing. We're moving. We are moving. And you've got to trust yourself at this level. Where are we going and what are you trying to do? That's going to take courage. That's going to take faith. You've got to move forward. My link has also been updated to show my Substack. So subscribe to my Substack because there's going to be some really, really good stuff that I'm going to share with my subscribers over there. It's free. And also the Operation Excellence system if you want to set up your back end with HoneyBook. That is something you're interested in. This for photographers, whoever who decide they want to do contracts and invoices and stuff like that, get the system. All right. If you have questions about the matriarch, DM me the word matriarch. But we're going on, y'all. We're going on. Love y'all so much. And I will see you tomorrow back here around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. All right. Take care. Go make some money. Bye.